Welcome back everyone, good evening, I'm Dota and with me is Wakey Pixel for the ESL UK AOC DOTA2 Challenge. This is game 2 of a best of 3 between Dwayne the John Roxon and ForLove International. Rubbing your hands in anticipation, can't wait to get into the draft here. Definitely, we've seen some great things from Rhyme's team. They brought on Cook recently from Team Infused, he left them and joined Rhyme's team. Mute and Whelp have been playing with them for quite some time, and then they've got Risa, aka BLR as far as I know. He used to play with a couple of the Quantic guys about a year or two ago. So he's up there with the big lads. Then over on ForLove, we have 920, Danny D, the Big D. I think everyone in the UK scene knows him, and most of the people in the European scene know him. Tashko, a relatively unknown player in the UK scene, recently joined ForLove. Thompson, Finnish player, plays with Danny D, their solo mid. And then we've got Adamski and TOP, again, relatively new players for ForLove. So this is quite a new roster, and managing to make it all the way to the grand finals, quite a good feat for them.
Yeah, I think the thing that should be mentioned as well is how well Rock's cores played in the last game. I mean, Rhyme, Cook and Risa all played really, really well, and they've played really, really well throughout this tournament. They've got such strong cores to choose from, and they can all play each position as well, off lane, mid lane, safe lane, so they can mix it up as they will, and it really adds some unpredictability to their lanes when you face up against them, and it's really hard to draft for that reason against the team.
Yeah, and they're all different players. Like, Cook is a more aggressive player. Risa seems to like to, sit back and farm and make people, force people into errors. And then we've got Rhyme, who just loves farming. He is just absolutely obsessed with farming. I think that's one of the biggest features of this team is their efficiency of jungle farming, split pushing, the ability to basically make loops on the map, go from one lane, push it out, take a tower, do damage to a tower, then back into the jungle. And ForLove taking probably their most favorite hero, Viper, as the first pick.
Yeah, it was banned out in the second phase last game, and they're not going to let it get to that stage again. They're going to pick it up first this time, prioritise the hero. And I think you're absolutely right in what you were saying about the Rock as well. They utilise the map so well in terms of their farm, and they might not be winning the game in terms of kills, in terms of objectives, but they're still farming better than the other team, and that's what makes them such a good team, and why they sort of win games. And they're actually going for something Enigma that you mentioned they might, Enigma, and possibly the Tidehunter to follow it up as well. EG style. Yeah,
they are dire side, so I don't see why not. But they're still thinking about this. They still could go, Rubik. They could pick up something else a little bit fruity. Or, I don't know, maybe an Invoker for Cook. Maybe an Invoker for Rhyme. They've got two very strong Invoker players. And they're taking their time here thinking about this second pick. So they've got the Enigma. It's a really fast, efficient farmer in the jungle. He's able to get level 6, 5 minutes into the game. I think 4.5 minutes is like the fastest you can get it depending on camps. 5 to 6 minutes is still quick for a jungler. And the fact he can get his Blink Dagger or Mech about 9 to 11 minutes into the game, again depending on what camps you take.
Yeah, he's such a strong hero. I mean, you get level 6 in the jungle and then you roam into the lane, you get a kill, you use Black Hole if you need to secure that kill, and then you can just instantly translate that into a push, and the Eidolons melt towers. So you can start putting pressure on towers and lanes really, really early. It's just such a good hero, and it is quite greedy, but it definitely works in certain lineups. And they're going well into the reserve time here, thinking about what hero they want to pick up second. I think they're probably thinking about they want the Tidehunter and they want the Invoker, and they know whichever one they don't pick is going to be banned out next by ForLove.
Yeah, it's quite a weird one. You think back 2 or 3 years ago, and with Enigma, if you didn't get like a 5-man black hole, you were doing something wrong. Yeah. Nowadays, if you're securing 1 kill in the early portions of the game, that's great. You've used that cooldown. It'll be off cooldown in 2 minutes' time. You're back in the jungle farming. You're pushing lanes. You've taken that one hero off the map. And it really is vital when you do this on cores, like when you gank solo mid. And from the dire jungle, you have such a nice avenue into that lane, especially if they push it up onto your ramp, or if you're great at keeping creep equilibrium on your side of the river. They can smoke up, sneak around, and get a nice kill on that Radiant solo mid.
Yeah, exactly. And ForLove are going to go in for the Shadow Demon, so a hero that we've seen a few times in this tournament. Obviously, Disruption, really, really good disable. Pretty good against Enigma as well. Nice way of stopping the black hole. And they'll probably pick a hero to look to synergize with this. We see the Kunkka banned out. That was one of the heroes that they could have played it with. We've seen a few teams do that this tournament already.
We saw these guys do it. They did Kunkka support with the Shadow Demon. That worked quite well. But I think Dwayne the John Roxon really worth thinking, do we pick Invoker? Do we pick Tide? And they went for the Razor, which is, the safer pick here. Try and see if ForLove fall for the bait and ban out Invoker now.
I think if they don't ban out one of those heroes, they're definitely going to pick up one or the other. It's two heroes that they clearly love to run. They're 1 game up.
They're afraid of that Nature's Prophet. He did such a great job in the last game.
Yeah, it was so strong. And
Mirana banned out by the rock.
yeah, pretty understandable. Nice synergy with the Shadow Demon, and that's going to get banned out.
So now they've got Danny D's hero and the Viper. They've got a support in the Shadow Demon. They're still looking for Thompson's hero, which could be an Invoker. So in my mind, you pick the Invoker now if you did want it. Or if you didn't want it, you go for the Tide. And we still do have Mute and Whelp. Their heroes still waiting to be picked. I guess it's going to be Mute on that Enigma. I think he does play their full
position
role.
4, yeah.
And Razor is such a strong hero against people like Viper who want to be up in your face, doing as much right-click damage as possible. Drain that down. His Nether Toxin still going to work. His Poison Attack and his Viper Strike still going to be a bit of a pain. Dwayne the John Roxon. I like saying that name now. When they first started playing under this name, it was such a tongue twister. Your brain, automatically thinks, that's not right. It's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. But now, once you've got it going, and they picked Timbersaw completely out of left field for me. I've never seen them play this hero.
Okay, so maybe trying out something a little bit new here. And the Invoker pick does come out by ForLove, so we mentioned that Thompson likes to play that hero. But yeah, the Timbersaw pick, I mean, Dwayne the John Roxon, they are 1 game ahead in this series, so are they going to be able to? Are they going to be able to just pull out something that we've not seen before?
Well, how are you looking at laning this? Because if they didn't pick Invoker there, I wasn't expecting ForLove to take it because they've got the Shadow Demon, they've got Thompson who loves playing that Invoker. Sunstrike is such a great spell when coupled up with that Disruption, and then Soul Catcher to amplify the damage.
Yep.
But do you put Timbersaw mid? Where do you go with this? You can go Razor mid against the Invoker and try and dominate that lane. He does decently in the early stages, but once Invoker gets some levels, gets Midas, gets mobility, that's when Razor starts to have to get off the lane.
I mean, Timbersaw into the off lane, but he's going to be up against possibly a Viper Shadow Demon unless they choose to run that lane aggressively. Which I don't think they will. They are on the Radiant, and the Radiant off lane is not too bad anyway, so they might just choose to put a solo up there. And it is interesting to see where this Timbersaw will end up in the laning phase.
So I'm guessing this is going to be Reese's hero, the Timbersaw, because again, I've not seen too many of these other players pick it up. A Witch Doctor, really nice hero there. So we've got Witch Doctor, Enigma, Razor, great pushing power, creep clearing ability with the Timbersaw and the Enigma.
Yeah, Witch Doctor pretty good against Invoker as well. When you go into gank that mid lane, chances are Invoker's going to have a Forge Spirit out to help him last hit in the lane, and often it's going to be quite close to him. And if you can get a cask off, you can keep him there for a hell of a long time if it doesn't get any in and lucky bounces. And a pretty nice hero that necessarily doesn't look like a very good roamer, but could definitely make something happen if they need him to, and put some pressure on the lanes. And it'd be interesting to see how ForLove go. I mean, they need another support. They need probably an off laner, unless they're going to run this aggressive. They definitely need a solo laner.
Well, they could run Viper solo safe, and they have run out of options to couple up with that Shadow Demon though. No Kunkka, no Mirana. They could go for something old-fashioned like a Leshrac or a Lina. But then you're looking at these really squishy heroes up against Witch Doctor, Razor, and Enigma, and you think, it's really not worth it. Now, with an Ember Spirit, you can put him in the carry role. He doesn't really excel in a tri lane. Usually you see him solo mid. So we might be seeing safe lane Invoker, Ember mid. Only been used once. Was that once by DK, I wonder? All I can think of is Ice, Ice, Ice.
Yeah, Timbersaw. I don't know many players that play that anymore. And high tier. It fell off a bit. It used to be picked up all the time back when Crystal Maiden was being picked up every game, and Crystal Maiden Timbersaw used to be like first ban, first pick material.
I think he's kind of like a Tide Hunter, but his ultimate doesn't do that much.
I see Troll Warlord coming out. Okay, so we've got Troll Warlord. Battle Trance, obviously really strong at pushing towers. They've got the Enigma for pushing the towers as well. And then if anyone tries to come and contest, the amount of burst damage they've got with the Razor, the Timbersaw, and even the Witch Doctor, that Maledict, you can't really underestimate it.
Oh, Fnatic EU. So most likely the lanes here, they've got Troll, Warlord, and Razor, who can both be played mid, both be played safe lane. But I'm guessing Troll, Warlord mid, go for the mech, sort of, Phaetor style from Mouse. Have the Razor go for a more DPS build, go for Agnems as quickly as possible, BKB, Timbersaw off lane, Witch Doctor support the Razor, Enigma jungle, and then you've got such a great team fight capabilities there with the Battle Trance, Razor. That whip is going to do so much damage, whereas ForLove, it's a little bit up in the air. Their final pick really has to round this up. They've got to get one hero that can synergize them all. So far they've got Disruption into Sunstrike, Ember Spirit with a Searing Chains, Sleight of Fist and Alchemist. So there's a nice bit of negative armor there with that Acid Spray. Concoction, a decent long-range stun. Now Adamski is picking up that Ember Spirit, so I think it might be safe lane Ember. Could be solo mid, and then they have safe lane Invoker. But I think they'll run a tri-lane with that Viper, Shadow Demon, and Alchemist. So that's what they've been doing most of the tournament, is that tri-lane with Danny D.
Yeah, the Alchemist is something that didn't really come to the forefront of my mind when I thought about heroes that would link up nicely with the Shadow Demon, but thinking about it, I mean, Disruption allows you to get a decently charged Concoction off, and then with the Soul Catcher on as well, that's going to do a hell of a lot of physical damage. And
well, let's go over these teams. On the Dire side, we have Reset on that Timbersaw, Mute242 on the Witch Doctor, Whelp is actually playing the Enigma, Cook on the Razor, and Rhyme on that Troll Warlord. How are we looking over on the Radiant?
Over on the Radiant side, we're going to have Viper being played by Danny. 920 this game is going to be Tashko. He's going to be playing on that support Alchemist, and he's going to be joined by TOP being played on that Shadow Demon. It's going to be Adamski on the mid lane in the end, Ember Spirit, and that means as you predicted, the Invoker solo safe lane being played by Thompson.
So Invoker against Timbersaw, the clash of the champions. So this Exalt Invoker is going to have a pretty good time once he hits level 4 or 5 with the Force Spirit. But the Timbersaw, that reactive armor, is going to do quite a lot of work. Now solo mid, who do we see here? There's Rhyme, there's going to be Deny on the creep, the Eidolons from Whelp, and Mute's going to go ward up. Go on a little bit of an excursion. Meanwhile, we see this tri-lane all the way in the Dire jungle. I think every single game they do this with at least 3 heroes. Last game they did it with 5. This time they're just going to go try and ward up as many camps of Enigmas as possible. Stop the amount of farm he can get. I just wonder, Whelp, will you know this is happening? Will you go straight into the Dire jungle? Because Invoker can't really do anything about that. And when you've got an Enigma who can possibly, you know, gang that Invoker with a Timbersaw, the amount of pure or magical damage he gets, depending on the trees nearby, then you could take that Invoker down.
Yeah, definitely, and it's definitely something that he should do, and he probably will end up rotating when he sees what's happening. At the moment, he's just using the creeps, the Eidolons, just to harass the mid lane a little bit, harass this Ember Spirit.
They're basically sperm.
They are basically sperm. And those new ones are literally sperm.
So many little tendrils.
And it looks like he has. He's already been spotted out, possibly knowing that there wasn't going to be camps there. He knew they were going to block it, and he's going to go straight into the Radiant jungle. And he should have a pretty good time down there. Disruption,
Concoction being charged up, but this is a Razor. Oh, he gets blocked in by the illusions.
Oh, brilliant block there by TOP, getting it in perfectly. And with the illusion rune as well, it helps so much in getting the block there.
Too many illusions for him to handle.
Yep, first blood pretty easily. And I think Adamski has to be a little bit careful on this mid lane, because Rhyme can play really, really aggressive. In fact,
no
Rhyme's going to go for the kill.
One more? Oh, he just gets it!
He gets it as well. And yeah, just completely underestimating the damage that this Troll Warlord can put out at the early levels, and pays the price for it, goes down. Are we going to see... We're actually seeing a smoke up. Okay, so it looks like the Radiant, they're gonna come and try and gank this mid lane. This Troll Warlord needs to be careful. He's playing quite safe. He's backing up. He knows that they're missing. He's playing pretty close to the tower.
Shadow
They're
Demon
try and
on
make
the
this
front.
happen.
Can they get in range?
They need the Searing Chains. They're not going to be able to get in range without that. And smoke gank wasted, unfortunately.
Now take a look at this lane. Timbersaw up against Invoker. The Timbersaw really outlast hitting this guy. Doing so well. The fact that Invoker can't really harass him out of lane. The reactive armor far too strong for him. And then the fact that he's a melee hero with pretty good base attack damage. Meaning that Invoker, even with the Exalt, is having difficulty here. Exalt and Null Talisman.
Yeah, he shouldn't be having difficulty here. He's hitting for 74
Invoker
damage.
Is dead.
Oh no, yeah, this is a disaster. In comes Enigma, and this is what we talked about. He can easily come in here, and there's not a lot Invoker can do at the early levels to avoid this, and he's going to get taken down, and he tries to Sunstrike just to do a little bit of damage onto Risa, but he actually misses it, and Timbersaw gets a kill down here, which is going to help his lane considerably. And some assist gold for Enigma.
Yeah, nice first blood up on top lane, but now the supports have to come down to bot lane. Leeching experience from the Invoker is not something you ever really want to do, but you've got to try and win him his lane, because right now the Timbersaw is level 4.5, Invoker, level 3, barely level 4. You've got to get these supports to actually do something.
Yeah, and look how aggressive Cook can be here on this top lane now. Instantly the static link comes out onto Viper, knowing that the two supports have had to rotate to the bot lane. And this is what Rhyme do so well. They create pressure on lanes, and it forces the enemy to react to it. And if you're playing reactive Dota, it's a lot harder than when you're actually dictating the pace yourself.
Topson is going Wex Exort, for now at least. He's gone Alacrity, Sunstrike. Doesn't have any in Cold Snap though. And usually with Wex Exort you want one value point in Quas just to get Cold Snap, because that's where, you know, the majority of your damage comes from. Well, the majority of your lockdown to create more damage, I should say. Top lane, Mute. In a lot of trouble. Concoction being charged, thrown out. Viper hitting pretty hard. Sunstrike gonna finish him? Yeah, just about. And now Disruption onto the Razor. Have stolen quite a lot of damage. Acid Spray, -1 armor.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's going to be Mute in the end. But yeah, stealing a lot of damage, so Viper couldn't really come back into the fight because he couldn't really offer anything there, and allows Razor just to walk away. He's got a Salve still in his inventory as well, and another Tango, so he's got plenty of regen. He's going to be absolutely fine. Stay with him a bit longer.
Might be in trouble again.
Oh, he's going to go down here. Rhyme looking for it. He's got the vision, but actually really nice Searing Chains. It's just going to make Rhyme take a hell of a lot of damage. Are they going to be able to get the Sunstrike? I don't even know where that happened, to be honest.
It happened over near the ramp, expecting him to run back that way. He actually gets another right click in there, but Shadow Demon, the missed chance. Can Rhyme turn it around? Disruption.
Oh my
Shadow
God.
Demon runs the hell away.
Kill, but no, he's going to be able to bring it off. Tasco comes in.
If he didn't have the disruption there, I think Shadow Demon would have died. Battle Trance, the missed chance from the
I think he
axes.
would. I think he actually would.
And again, a kill on bot lane. Witch Doctor roaming in for this. Risa, now level 6, manages to take down the Invoker once again. So Cook, Razor versus Danny D on that Viper. Really annoying hero to deal with. Look at that. A couple more hits and Cook would have gone down. He actually has to be awfully careful. Forced to salve. But Whelp coming in from the side. Now he's lacking a little bit in levels simply because he had to go down to this Radiant jungle, then gang bot lane, and then come back up to the Dire jungle. So he's only almost level 5 minutes in, so he's about a level behind where he should be. But still, he might be able to find a kill on this Viper. He's got level 2 in Malefice. Once he hits level 5, this is always one of the more interesting points with Enigma. Do you go for the level 3 in Malefice, or do you go for level 3 in Eidolons? And it always proves to, it always serves to prove the point. Are you a greedy player, or are you a team player? Because if you go for level 3 in Malefice, you've got the extra stun, you've got the extra damage, you go for the gangs. If you go for level 3 in Eidolons, you're like, I can farm 7% more efficiently, or whatever it is.
I go Eidolons.
Yeah, I know. Most people do. Very few
greedy.
I mean, sometimes when you see people play, they keep Eidolons level 2 because they know they can farm relatively efficiently in the jungle. It's not going to be 100% efficiency, but you can go for 4-2-1 in your skills and then get your ultimate.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. I mean, Death Pulse. Midnight Pulse.
Midnight Pulse.
Death and Decay. I'm going to go back to Warcraft 3 names. It's definitely Death and Decay.
Death and Decay.
One of Lich's old spells. Let's actually take a quick look at hero levels. 6 on the 2 big cores for the Dire, 5 and 5 on the opponent's cores, and then we've got 5 on the Razor, 4 on the Alchemist, but 4 on the Ember Spirit. The 2 deaths he's got really have put a downer on his laning phase.
I mean, if you have a look quickly at the net worth, you can see that the Timbersaw is top as the game restarts again, and it's pretty crazy because do you think that the Rock knew that Danny loves to go aggressive in his tri-lanes, and therefore they think, well, what can we get out of the off-lane? What is a hero that is going to get a lot out of the off-lane and then is going to be really, really useful going to the mid-lane? And Timbersaw's a great hero for that. If he gets uncontested farm, similar to the way he would get in the mid-lane, but you'd argue it's even easier down here on the bottom lane against this Invoker.
Without a doubt, they know that Danny D is going to go aggressive tri-lane. They let Viper through, they took Razor, they banned Centaur, so they know he's going to pick Viper at any possible moment. So they definitely expect every move that Danny D is making. Whereas Danny D on the flip side, I don't think expected Timbersaw or Troll or Witch Doctor. Enigma and Razor, you can expect those. They're relatively common picks. And he's obviously going to watch this replay back and message me on Steam saying, I knew everything.
Of course he is. As you would.
Yeah. No, I would as well.
Get that ego going.
Alacrity on Topson, but he takes so much damage from the Timbersaw, manages to Ghost Walk, does have the value. Oh, he still goes down! The Timber Chain really well placed.
Lovely by Risa.
The value point in Quas, not quite valuable enough. Meanwhile, mid lane, Viper does find a kill on top, but Rhyme going down. That Flame Guard. Oh, and the Soul Catcher from that Shadow Demon. So who did Viper manage to kill? He found Mute on a Witch Doctor hiding away in this jungle.
Yeah, an absolute bloodbath all of a sudden, and many kills. ForLove getting some decent trades there.
XP wise, the Dire are coming out ahead, but that's, you know, Enigma and the solo lanes they've got. The supports are roaming relatively well, finding kills here and there. Whereas the Radiant side, this Alchemist and Shadow Demon are really struggling to find openings. Gold wise, it's pretty even across the board, but Viper uncontested farm top, Invoker farming decently at bot.
Yeah, I mean the good thing about the supports on ForLove though is they are finding decent levels. Both sitting at level 5-6 minutes in isn't bad at all, coming up to 7 minutes, and they've been really active around the map, and they've managed to provide a lot of space in the lanes. The only lane that they really need to provide more space on is that bottom lane where they're really struggling. And
Whelp has Black Hole here. He might go for this.
Oh, he's going to go for it. In fact, here comes the rotations. Are they going to be able to get it? Are they just going to commit? I think they can probably kill him here without even using it. He hasn't got any remnants there. Oh, they're going to commit. They're going to use the Black Hole, bring him down.
I don't think they knew he didn't have enough mana.
Yeah. Just making sure of it.
Secured that kill. And now they put 3 people down in this bot lane to try and stop Risa. Arcanes, Urn. Like, what do you go for next on Timbersaw? Do you still go into Bloodstone, or do you go something like a Blink? Because if you have Blink, Timbersaw, then you've got Enigma to follow up, you've got Casks, you've got all of this, you know, chaotic team fight capability. I think it's a really good item choice.
Yeah, and it's a tanky hero as well. If you blink in and people start using a lot of their spells on you, you can tank them up pretty well and still be relevant in the fight. Zipping around everywhere, causing a lot of damage, pure damage, especially if you're catching off trees with the Whirling Death and Timber Chain and Chakram. Doing all sorts of work for your team. And this Alchemist needs to be really careful, because being a strength hero, he gets absolutely bursted down by the by Whirling Death from Timbersaw, and obviously the attribute problem. How's Rhyme doing on the mid lane? He's actually gone ahead on the net worth though now. Yeah. So he's farming pretty well, but
he's 2 and 1. But the thing is, he's had to go brace a Wraithband for the extra armor, the extra strength, try and get more HP, just to survive through any burst from Disruption into the Concoction, then Searing Chains and Flame Guard from this Ember Spirit. So he had to go more defensive build. He's still got Bottle and Magic Wand. I don't know what he goes for next. Try and finish off Treads, get Phase Boots, go Shadow Blade. Got an AFK, 2 minutes. Now, looking at Cook, he has been really starved in this lane. His basic need is to get experience. Up against a Viper 1v1, you can't really go and outlast hit because you're going to get harassed off the lane. So the few moments when he has been able to farm, he's got a couple of last hits here, a couple of last hits there. He's actually ahead of the Invoker, but that's because of the amount of rotations down to bot lane. But what do you go for on the Razor?
I mean, do you go mech again, or do you expect the... I mean, you've got the Enigma in the jungle who's probably going to be picking up the mech, or does that free him up to maybe get an earlier blink? He's picked up the Medallion, so they might be looking to do Roshan, which wouldn't be a bad shout, because they have got the Troll Warlord as well, bear in mind, in the mid lane. So with Battle Trance, they should be able to take down the Roshan fairly quickly, and I still think the Razor needs sort of the survivability that you get from mech. It provides a lot of armor. I think it acts similar to the way that Vanguard used to for a lot of heroes. It sort of replaced Vanguard on those sort of tanky carry heroes, you know, like Doom, your Viper.
AOE 2000, about 2 years ago, probably around TI2, I can't remember the exact date, but he did a blog post. Oh, was it AOE? Oh no, my memory is failing me. Well, whoever it was did a blog post basically with the maths behind it, and he showed that even though mech has a mana cost, it provides more in the long term than Vanguard does, especially on ranged heroes. Like, his main point was, you know, Necro, Razor, heroes like Viper, heroes like that who used to get Vanguard just to have that sustainability, HP regen, HP. Mech just provides so much more for yourself and for your team.
Exactly, and that's why the pickup makes sense on the Razor. And whether he does go for it this game or whether they leave it to Enigma, I suppose, depends on how much farm the Enigma is able to secure himself in the jungle. He's had a little bit of a difficult time with the camps being blocked early on, but he's able to find a bit of space now, secure his own jungle, and he has been ganked a few times, so a little bit of pressure on him. It has, but hasn't died yet, and has managed to find 2 assists, so it's going pretty well for him. Level 7, 8 minutes in isn't too bad, and I mean, he's out-leveling the Ember Spirit on this mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, Ember Spirit has died twice to him, so it's been a pretty rough time. Taking a look at these graphs, 1,500 gold lead for the Rock, and about 4,000 experience lead. So the amount of experience they've gained mainly on this Timbersaw, who's almost level 9, and then the Enigma, who's farming decently in the jungle, lacking a bit behind with the Witch Doctor. But the Razor, who has managed to get plenty of levels up on top lane, equaling that Viper. He's done an excellent job at not dying. He's died once.
Yeah, exactly, and it's the classic Rock thing again. I mean, it doesn't look like they're winning by much, but in reality, they're extending their lead every single minute, and they
all
just,
of a sudden they'll burst out the gates, and you'll realize, hang on, where did they get that item from? How is he level 11? Why am I taking so much damage?
Exactly, and that's something that ForLove have to think about. I mean, it is simply that they're not winning the lanes, and the Timbersaw has managed to force 2 supports down here, which has freed up the Razor on this top lane, who probably wouldn't have got anything out of the lane if the 2 supports had been able to stick around with the Viper. Ember Spirit has just miscalculated and just been outplayed, unfortunately, in the mid lane. Thompson, it was actually Adamansky, isn't it, in the mid lane, because Thompson's playing the Invoker down in the safe lane. And yeah, Rhymes just punished him for maybe his slight lack of experience in the mid lane. Or who knows, but
slight lack of experience against Troll. Like those axes, long range for the ranged axes, and short range and mischance for the whirling melee axes. And the fact that he's switching to range and getting to vision with the ranged axes when he's trying to juke in these trees. Like a couple of times we saw him trying to get in here, trying to juke around here, but the whirling axes come over the top. He gets vision. One more axe thrown into the skull of Ember Spirit, just breaking him down. And it's Invoker. Phase Boots null, 8 minutes into the game. This is the period of time where you want Boots and Midas. You want to be, starting your lead. You want more experience. You want more gold. You want to get your next item. You want a Force Stamp or a Blink or something like that. I do wonder if he will continue with the Wex Exort. It is a really uncommon build, but I've seen him do it before.
Just get a value point in the quaz, like sort of Wes, Exort, and then just go for damage items.
Yeah. I don't think it's the best, but definitely can work. Because you always think of Invoker, Quas Wex, Tornado, EMP, or the Quas Exort with the double Forward Spirits, Cold Snap, Ice Wall. Then you sort of, converge with the 2 builds later on in the game when you've got Tornado, Meteor, Deafening Blast, EMP, Ice Wall, and you throw out all these spells. Alacrity is one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I've got Alacrity. Let's use that on my hard carry. Here, Lifesteal, Anti-Mage, take one of these. But Invoker with, max Exort plus max Wex and Alacrity, he can push out so much right-click damage.
Yeah, especially early on as well. It's so much damage early on from the Wex Exort build, but it'd be interesting to see if he does go for that and start spamming Alacrity. It's such low cooldown as well. It was buffed, wasn't it, slightly in a couple of patches ago in terms of its cooldown. Yeah, I think it was the cooldown
and mana
was
cost,
reduced.
I think, got reduced.
So it's pretty crazy how much you can spam it in lane, and theoretically, you shouldn't be losing this lane against the Timbersaw in terms of last hits. I mean, he's hitting for so much more damage than the Timbersaw, but I mean, Timbersaw's just played really, really well down here. And
Exort Invoker, like you think, okay, he's got loads of base damage, he's going to just outlast anyone. But his main focus is harassing the enemy to about 1/3 or half of their HP, and then last hitting. But with Timbersaw, it's so difficult to do that when he's regenning up. He's got loads of mana with the Arcane Boots. He's even carrying a salve, so he knows that when he goes down to half, he can back up, salve, go straight back down that Invoker's throat.
Yeah, just constant pressure. Just constant pressure all over the map, and that's exactly what Rock decided to do with their strategies, and yeah, it forces the other team to react.
Well, ForLove have reacted. They've had those supports move from top to mid to bot. They've moved back to top and mid again, and now there's the Alchemist down at bot, the Shadow Demon sitting behind the Ember Spirit. So now it's basically a 1-2-2. And this is the time when Enigma can farm. He's got Medallion. Do you reckon they go straight into Roshan now he's got that item?
Yeah, I think they can go straight into Roshan now they've got that item. I mean, it's not too difficult for them to be able to take it down. They've got Battle Trance. They might want to wait for level 11 and get level 2 Battle Trance up, so they get that they double the speed, if you like, that 60 to 120 attack speed on all their heroes. But with the Medallion, Roshan should melt all those heroes, beating down on him. And
we're ready.
The Eidolons as well. I think what's so important as well, the Eidolons obviously get the attack speed, because it is summoned units as well. So I believe they get the attack speed and they can start melting towers as well.
Is it? All allied heroes.
Oh, is it allied heroes? Oh, it doesn't work on illusions.
It used to be that the Lone Druid Spirit Bear got the buff, so I think it might have been units, and then they nerfed it quite heavily because there was lots of abuse with Lone Druid and getting, sending him to a tower using Battle Trance, and the tower just disappears off the map. Risa getting ready to go back in on this Evoker. Chakram, Whirling Death, Timber Chain, Concoction going to come in, Sunstrike going to land. Risa might be in a Deafening Blast as well. Doesn't manage to finish off Thompson. Far too much burst damage there. That Alchemist sitting in the back end, hiding in the fog, staying in the trees. Really unexpected.
If he just hit that Timber Chain, Thompson was dead.
Yeah.
Thompson was so dead. And back to the mid lane again. And Adamancy, he can't stay here. He just keeps getting beaten out of the lane by Rhyme. There's nothing he can do. And yeah, it looks like now they're going to converge and try and take down Roshan. And who have they got here? They've got the Witch Doctor with the heal, so level 1 Voodoo Restoration should keep some of the heroes alive.
Well, no. That's not good. That's not good gaming. He waited too long to take one of the Eidolons.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. So that could have been good for them, but slight misplay, wasting a smoke. They still managed to get this Observer Wall down. And look at that. Straight in there. Shadow Demon's like, hey guys, they could be taking Roshan. So, maybe that was fortunate that they failed. Maybe it was all planned. What did the Alchemist pick up? I saw him, he had 1,500 gold a second ago. He's going for Medallion himself.
Okay. The battle for Roshan begins.
I really think Rock have the advantage though. Enigma with the Black Hole, Casks, Chakram, Timber Chain, then Razor. So much chaos inducing.
Yeah, I mean, Black Hole and Death Ward, it's such a strong combination, and if they manage to get 2 or 3 heroes in there and get the Death Ward out, then ForLove are going to absolutely melt.
Thank you, Knoxville.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Battle Trance used. Where's the damage happening? Rhyme trying to take down the Shadow Demon, but Ember Spirit saying, nope, I'm going to help my friend out here. The cask still bouncing up there, and Risa going straight into this battle. Not sure that's the best idea. Sunstrike going to hit. Searing Chains.
Oh, he's going to go down. Look at the burst damage, though, from Whirling Death there. Dealing a hell of a lot of damage to both the Alchemist and the Ember Spirit, but they're going to be able to heal up pretty comfortably. And the Black Hole is actually being used on top lane. Trying to bring down Viper, but unable to do so, and now Whelp, he's going to go down.
That was so close to a kill on Viper. Is he max corrosive skin? Only level 2 in there. Still manages to sustain through the Black Hole and the Razor stealing damage. Now Rhyme TP's down to the bot lane. Going to face up against this Invoker using Whirling Axes. Get as many last hits as he can. He went for the phase boots, so might go for the BKB next. Still could be the mech carrier of the team. We've not yet seen. Ah, no. Now we see it. Enigma has built the buckler. Now Thompson, 1,600 gold. It's 12 minutes in. You could potentially still go Midas here. Or you can go for Force Staff. You can go for Blink, Yules. We have seen Invokers sometimes go for mech, but obviously the Viper is building that for them. And when I say sometimes, I mean Mouse Sports, because Fater builds mech on every single bloody hero.
He actually does. He actually does. So true. So, I mean, if you're ForLove at this point in the game, how do you stop Rhyme? How do you stop Rhyme in this Timbersaw? Because they don't have too much in the way of lockdown. They've obviously got the disruption from Shadow Demon, but unless they can follow that up with some serious burst damage with the Soul Catcher on, then they're not going to be able to burst down these heroes, and then they don't really have anything to keep them and hold them in place. Nothing like a Bane, nothing like a Roar from Beastmaster. They have no real solid stuns, apart from the Concoction, but it's not exactly reliable.
Well, so far what they've done is they've literally sat people behind their core heroes and hoped for the Rock to play over-aggressive into the tower and then finish them off. But that has created space across the map for other heroes alternating times. Like at top lane, the Ember Spirit manages to come in and take down the Enigma and save the Viper's life. Viper now has mech, so probably going to try and join his team, but here we go. Disruption mid lane, Acid Spray, Concoction, Risa, Sunstrike, down he goes, bang! But in the meantime, the Ember Spirit goes down to Rhyme.
Yeah, and he's following up as well. He's got a DD rune, and it looks like he's going to be able to find the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's going to go down, and Enigma actually brings down the Alchemist, so...
Shadow Demon is TPing out. Miss Uphill is overpowered, apparently. Well, the Enigma did find a kill on the Alchemist, so it's a 2-for-1 exchange. The Timbersaw going down, but that tower.
Shadow Demon not die?
Miss uphill. Like, he was just running and running. Every single, like, the troll was here, hit him once, couldn't hit him again. Oh, Rhyme still has a DD going on Thompson. Cold Snap, really irritating. Gonna have to back off here. Is there another spell? 15 seconds for Invoke. So Thompson can't go for the Sunstrike. But in comes Risa. Timber Chain.
Oh, the burst damage. Is he gonna be able to bring him down?
Not quite enough.
Oh, that Timber Chain would have been enough, but just a little bit too late.
Mute. It's gonna take like 5 hits to kill that courier. Oh, 4 hits. In comes the Ember Spirit.
He's going to be in trouble here. There's no one here to help him. He's on his own, and he's going to go down. Much needed kill for the Ember Spirit as well. He's now 3, 4, and 3.
And he's got Phase Drums Bottle 1. So he's really caught up in terms of net worth. We see the Invoker actually leading net worth now. Rhyme lagging behind just a little bit. Force Staff was his item of choice, and another 1,000 gold in the bank. So now we might see the strength of ForLove's lineup. Timbersaw had a cracking start, 3 for 0, now 3 for 3. Using the salve just to regen a couple of hundred of HP. Oh dear, Whelp. Concoction, Sunstrike, Acid Spray. Gonna have to stun up, but Searing Chains holding him in place far too long. There's no way he can escape here. Meanwhile, Rhyme coming in from the back. Danny D gets the Viper Strike off. Mech to save his life. Can Rhyme finish him off? Yes, he can, just about. And the Eidolon's doing so much damage, but in the back end of play, Risa, the Witch Doctor, goes down. The Shadow Demon running for his dear life. And now Adamski on this Ember Spirit, chasing down Rhyme. Does he have Searing Chains? Does he have Sleight of Fist? Not quite off cooldown yet. And Risa continues the chase onto Shadow Demon. Doesn't get the Timber Chain off. Yes, he does, but he still goes down. Soul Catcher with a Concoction. Just enough to finish him off. And now Cook has no stun. He's Razor. He's done for. He doesn't know Alchemist has no mana to TP out quite yet. That medallion is really useful. Mana regen. So Whelp still has his Black Hole off cooldown, has Mech. Really didn't make an appearance in that team fight, seeing as he died at the start of it.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't really progress into a team fight. It was just heroes getting picked off here and there, and heroes arriving late to the fight. Cook, the latest of all of them, not able to really contribute anything. But I mean, still the Rock just sit back. They farm away. Rhyme, he manages to get away from that one, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah, but Rhyme going for Phase Drums. Do you reckon he'll go BKB now? Because this must be a pain getting Sunstrike, Deafening Blast, Concoction.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot that can stop him. I mean, he still gets BKB. There's still the Viper Strike. There's still the Demonic Purge that's going to be able to slow him in his tracks, which is going to be really, really annoying to play against. But to be able to stop the Concoction, everything like the Searing Chains, obviously Disruption as well.
I've got a feeling that they might go Blinks here. Like, now the Enigma has Mech, Medallion, Soul Ring. You could go BKB, but I think if you get Blink on Timbersaw, Enigma, and the Troll, the gold advantage of this game has crossed the 0 mark 3 times already. Let's take a quick look at that.
Oh, Jesus.
Miss a kill at mid
Mute
lane.
gets absolutely brought down on mid lane on the Witch Doctor, and there's going to be the Black Hole, and it's going to land on 2. Danny and Tashko, they're going to both go down, and Top, he's trying to TP out, but he's not going to be able to do so.
And now Roshan.
Timbersaw picks him off, and
such a great place for Dire to win a team fight right on the ramp next to Roshan. They finish off 3 people and like, oh look, we can go and take this. Link Dagger on Timbersaw, Ember Spirit trying to get the Sleight of Fist in there, and another pause. So Timber with the Blink, he's got some pretty good initiation range. Enigma now with 760 gold. I don't know, I feel like BKB is the safest option. You can, you know, BKB walk in there whilst they're under Chakram, they're being stunned by Witch Doctor. But there's nothing really to hold them in place so you can get a big black hole like a Ravage or a Naga Song of the Siren.
No, there isn't really, and it's all going to come to the time of whether he can get that Blink nice and early and find those initiations when they group up, and it's probably going to come when they try to push the high ground or when they're trying to push the tier 2s and ForLove group up to try and defend it. If they can get a decent black hole, then they can definitely win pretty much every single fight. With the Death Ward, it's so much damage, and unfortunately the Witch Doctor went down in that fight just before the black hole happened, so they weren't able to produce the combo. But anyway, it didn't matter. They were able to win the fight nonetheless.
Roshan going down to the Dire, 1500 gold up on Rhyme now. What does Cook have? It's been a long time since we've seen him. 3000 gold. He's going Sanjanyasha, so not BKB, not Aghanims. He's going for the item builds that I have suggested in every game except this one.
Yeah, but he's clearly heard you and he's trolling. He's trolling
Obviously.
you now. Yeah, he knew you wouldn't say it in this one.
Like this game, like, oh, he's going to go Aghanims, go BKB, he's going to do this. And then he goes back and reverts to the skill build, or the item build that I suggested like 3 games in a row. Now, Whelp, 1,000 gold. It's going to be pretty much the defining time now. See what he goes for. So at this point, you probably build the Ogre Club if you go BKB, or you save up for Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I think at this point you probably save it for Blink Dagger. I mean, there's not too much that can stop you. I mean, you've got to get in position to get the black hole, and at the moment, like you say, they don't really have any kind of setup, so the blink is going to be absolutely crucial. He's not going to get a chance to walk in and black hole 3 or 4 heroes, I don't think.
We saw a nice Deafening Blast the last fight, but that was as Black Hole was ending pretty much, just to cancel that and try and allow his teammates to escape. But the chasing ability of the Rock just too damn strong. And it would not be UK Dota without a multitude of pauses. The Alchemist, he's done pretty well for himself. Medallion, Urn, 5 charges on that, as well as Treads and a TP Scroll, whereas Shadow Demon, Arcanes, Magic Wand. Danny D got that mech really quite early on into the game, and he hasn't had anything since, and this seems to be something that happens to him a lot in games. He gets that first item really, really quickly. He dominates the lane, he does really well, but then he tries to join team fights too early, or he doesn't farm his next item, or his teammates don't come and help him push. Because that tier 1 tower at top, that should be like a vital target for them. Shadow Demon and Alchemist can easily go around the back of the tier 1 tower, find a pick off. Viper can walk past the tower and just hit people down.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, his item progression over the few games that we've seen him, if they've not been winning the game really, really comfortably, he's not been that good at finding the farm. And I suppose Viper isn't really a hero that is that good at transitioning into the jungle and farming lanes at once. And he's not got that flash farm ability that you have from some carries. So it is a little bit difficult for him to be able to keep up with heroes that are finding kills around the map. Heroes like Troll, obviously Razor, Timbersaw, that have had really, really good starts in lane, and he's just not able to keep up with them at the moment. And that's one of the reasons why Rock are so strong in terms of their lineup.
Enigma going Treads.
It's not a bad decision, I don't think. A bit more survivability.
They could go straight for Ogre Club, and that's what Knoxville mentioned.
It's true.
Pause Gaming.
Maybe
How much more movement speed does the Treads give you over Brown Boots? You get 50 over... it gives no...
No, it's none.
Exactly the same.
Well, what were you thinking? He gives him a bit more pace to run into the,
yeah,
run
I'm
into
going
the
to
fight.
sprint slightly faster. I just spent 950 gold to go slightly faster, but no, he goes no faster.
800 ping. Not what you want to be playing with. Va-va-va-voom.
Hmm. 1500 plus or minus 0. I'm not going to troll in all chat. It's tempting. It's tempting, but I won't. Oh, it looks like Rhyme's going for Vlad's. So he's got all of the components pretty much, but he's left the recipe in base. Just going to have to blame the Enigma. And Cook. Cook has a bottle. Did he have bottle on lane? The
No.
Razor.
No, he didn't have bottle on lane.
Am I imagining things here?
He doesn't have bottle. Oh, that's Cook's bottle.
He has bottle on the courier. Knoxville, when did he buy bottle?
Inform us. Okay, we're going to go again.
It makes sense when you're against a Viper because you want to spam out Plasma Field, regen up when he harasses you.
He must have got it quite late though, because he definitely didn't have it on lane once the supports rotated down to bottom lane to help the Invoker.
Every time I've clicked on him, he hasn't had it unless I'm blind, which is a possibility.
Bottle crowing like a boss.
Yeah, he has bottle crowed so voraciously that we just have not noticed he's had it. So now Rhyme has to send the courier all the way back to base to pick up the last component, the recipe for his Vlads. He definitely had it 3 minutes ago. Okay.
Look at Thompson's levels on this Invoker. I mean, 20 minutes into the game, he's only sitting at level 11, and Invoker's such a hero that needs levels, and he hasn't been able to find them in this game. Even though he had that solo lane against the Timbersaw, it just went so badly for him that the rotations had to come in, and then the XP was starting to be shared, and it's just the last thing that you want as an Invoker.
The Alchemist and Viper are ahead of him in experience. That's how bad it is for him. Timbersaw finding a kill up on top lane, which I missed.
Oh, Alchemist, the stun, the first hit stun coming out from Rhyme, which means that Alchemist stuns himself, and that's going to cause him his death, and he's going to go down. He was charging at the concoction, and then that bash, that first hit bash just cost him. And
RNGesus.
RNGesus.
Now we see the reactional play from the Radiant, trying to push down mid lane as they're losing tier 1 top. But TPs are just going to come out from Rhyme. So Dwayne the John Roxon still on the front foot. Oh, signal there, Adamski. He has come a long way. He's 21 minutes in, he was being crushed in lane, and he almost has Battle Fury. Yeah, he's like 500, 600 gold away from that right now.
Yeah, he got absolutely crushed in lane. I mean, he died like twice in a row pretty quickly. And Rhyme.
Well, he was 0-3.
He was about like 2-3 levels behind, and he's now caught up completely. So they're both sitting at level 14. So yeah, he's done really well to be able to find the farm that he has, and
second in the net worth as well. So now go buy your Perseverance, buy that Claymore. Battle Fury's ready. And when you go from 0-3 to getting a 21-minute Battle Fury phase drums, yeah, you're pretty happy with yourself. So now how does the Rock try and combat this? Getting to high ground can be difficult against an Ember Spirit, especially when you're coupled up with the minus armor from Acid Spray, the Invoker who can, basically rain down Hellfire.
Yeah, I think for the Rock, they need to start pressuring some more towers, because we're 20 minutes into the game and they still haven't taken a tier 2 tower, and there's still this tier 1 on bottom lane, which it looks like Rhyme's going to try and deal with now. But they have such good pushing abilities. They have Battle Trance, they have the Eidolons coming from Enigma, and they just haven't been able to take too many towers. They just need to focus up and take them, because they have pretty good team fight. I mean, Black Hole is online right now. They've got the Death Ward from Witch Doctor with the Cask as well. Timbersaw's here with full mana, and this is exactly what they need to do to counteract what's coming out from
Did you see the question from Knoxville?
Nope.
What is the attack speed cap? I'm not allowed to answer it, but yeah, I won't say anything then, because there's a couple of things that I would like to say, but I won't. So there is an attack speed cap in the game, the amount of attacks you can do per second, but
I don't know what it is.
There are a couple of heroes who have different base attack times to other heroes.
Yep.
I'll just put that out there. Or was the question, what's the attack speed increase cap that you can get? Or the actual attack speed cap?
Yeah, what was the question? Was it bat time or was it actual attack speed?
Well, we see Invoker building towards Necro 3. He's got 4 staff, Necro 2. Battle Fury is now ready to go. Rhyme charging in here. The Ember Spirit getting the hell out of this situation. But Timbersaw chains in. He's already used his blink. Ember Spirit really nice there onto mute. Oh, IAS cap, not maximum attacks per second.
Do you know what it is? No, me neither.
I'm not allowed to answer those, so I can pretend I know what it is.
He shook his head, everyone. He doesn't know.
No, there's no camera proof. You cannot prove this. The camera is not rolling. So, Viper, Ogre Club, 24 minutes into the game. He has bought something new, everybody.
He's actually so poor. He's sitting at level 11 now as well. This is your position 1 role hero. And, yeah, I mean, they're getting completely carried, and 400 is the maximum increased attack speed a hero can have. I know 1.4 is the base attack time, the lowest base attack time in the game, which is Alchemist Ultimate and
Lone Druid True Form.
Lone Druid
and Anti-Mage got his base attack time increased as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure of the numbers though, but pretty much the fastest, the most number of attacks you can have per second is something like 0.31. It used to be 0.33. So hitting 3 times a second is pretty strong, I heard.
Yeah.
So where do you see this game going? We've got Thompson. He's trying to do the whole split push thing, double forward spirits, Necro units. Cook holding this off. Oh, wow. So Cook had a lot of gold and spent it on the majority of an AC. He doesn't have Hyperstone, though. I was just thinking, if he has Hyperstone on the Courier, he made this item appear from nowhere. Blink Dagger on the
Alchemist.
Did.
But I think this is what Thompson has to do. He's got to go into this sort of split-pushing Invoker because he's so under-leveled. He can't really go into that sort of team fight, Aghanim Scepter, Refresher Invoker. He's got to go for that more split push, and I mean, he's gone for the phase boots as well. Do you think he changes and maybe even buys BTs as one of his core items in the next sort of 10 minutes or so?
He needs stuff like BKB Hex. I don't think he's got time for Boots of Travel. I mean, that's why we see him with 2 TP scrolls. He knows he can't really expend that amount of gold on that item. But we're going to see Cook go down. Searing Chain, Sunstrike, really good
and on bottom lane, Tashko's going to go down as well. It looks like he's going to get finally picked off by Ryman on that.
Just managing to catch both kills.
Warlord. Great camera control from Durka.
Oh yes. I'm not awful, I promise. I don't zoom out like this every single time it's possible. So far away, everybody looks like ants. Now we see TP here, reaction from the Dire. Rhyme on that Troll Warlord, just going to try and defend this split push. Alacrity on the catapult there, doing as much damage to the tower as possible. It always surprised me that, you know, certain spells which can be cast on catapults, like Omni's Heal, you can use Demonic Conversion from Enigma, you can use Alacrity. But
there are some weird ones. I think you can use Telekinesis from Rubik as well on catapults, which is...
you can't stun them with, like, Stormbolt or anything like that. Well, I can lift him up with my mind, but I can't throw a hammer at him. Where is the logic in this? Oh, wait, it's Dota 2. Yule Scepter on that Timbersaw, so he's going to be able to take someone out of the fight. Maybe the Viper, maybe the Ember Spirit. Welp was getting ready to black hole there, you could see it.
Yeah, he was indeed. He really wanted to find something, and at the moment the fights just seem to be breaking out. There's hints of aggression from both teams, and then both of them just seem to back off. So, again, a fight. They hint at a fight breaking out, but in the end, nothing really comes of it, and both teams retreat.
1 minute until Roshan respawns. They walk in there expecting him to be alive, but not quite. So Cook not going for the Ags, but going for the AC is a bit unusual for me, because you'd think that, you know, you want the Ags, you want the extra damage, the extra minus armor, you want the extra zaps, you want him to be able to get up onto towers, then go for AC or Deso to decrease the armor of the tower. But going straight for the AC, I guess they're going for a sort of a pseudo aura strat. They've got Vlads on the troll.
They've got the battle trance as well, so I mean he's going to be hitting so fast. If he can steal a decent amount of damage in a fight, then he's going to be just hitting absolutely insane with all the attack speed that he's got. And on top lane, Invoker, he might get caught out here. Thompson, really nice tornado actually, just keeping away Rhyme, and he's going to be able to save him. Rhyme and Risa not able to catch this up. They are going to be able to pick off the Necro units though.
1.0 base attack time in Alchemist.
Oh, 1.0 is it in the ultimate? Pretty crazy.
I think it's like 1.5 for most heroes, or 1.4, and then 1.3 for 1.7. What is this 1.7?
1.7 base attack time. Okay.
For most heroes, okay.
I can believe that.
Numbers are difficult for me.
This is Dota, not maths.
Like usually I'm the co-caster and I can just go to Dota 2 wiki and like type something in and then like, oh yes, blah 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 blah, it's this, and pretend I'm intelligent. But when you're the main caster, you've got to control the camera. You can't alt tab. You can't bring up the. You should be doing this.
I know you were gonna say that.
You should be on Dota 2 wiki checking all these things. Make yourself look smart.
But that would be a lie, Durka.
No,
that would be a lie. Meet me in real life and be just disappointed. At least the disappointment's already in place by the time I meet people.
GCS what? Oh, GCSEs. Haha. Took me a while to get that joke. I really must be uneducated.
Okay, Cook's finished the AC now, so we've got the Sanjin Yasha and the AC. Sunstrike's coming out from somewhere. Where's that coming out from?
Top lane into Roshan.
Okay. But it's not going to matter anyway. Rhyme's just going to start going to town on this, and it's going to be pretty easy with the Vlads that they've got, and Battle Trance. Roshan's going to go down very, very quickly. Are they going to try and fight this? I don't really think they can.
It looks like they want to. Invoker's coming in. He's got 4 spirits and Alacrity, but Invoker's on cooldown for 2 seconds. So I don't know what he's going to invoke that can actually help them here. Maybe Ice Wall? No, he goes for Tornado. And now 10 seconds until Invoker's off cooldown. This really isn't going to help them too much.
No, not at all. And actually, Stun being charged up by Tashko, and he's going to have to blink away because he could have been in trouble there. He had no one to throw it at. And Oh, look at this. The Rock, this is the time they want to fight. They hit instantly. Oh, they actually don't manage to blow him up. Now they've managed to finish him off. The disruption just delaying the inevitable, and Troll Warlord and his team start to roam down the mid lane, and this is where they're probably going to try and take this 2-2 tower. And
Invoker even took Tornado with level 1 Wex. Like Ice Wall or Meteor or Deafening Blast. Like
I know, yeah, it wasn't even
anything.
going to reach the Roshan pit. I don't know why that was going to be
Any
a good
spell
option.
would have been better than Tornado,
Really
in my
would,
opinion.
it really would.
Oh wow, these towers go down so quickly. This AC Vlad's the
Yeah,
the fervor?
Yeah, the fervor as well, and the aura onto the towers is such a big deal. It's a really, really nice pickup actually by the Razor when you think about it. And they're actually going to do the combo onto Ryan, but he's just going to live through it. It's put him down to just under half health. The Witch Doctor there, just able to sustain the entirety of their team. Now with the Ember Spirit coming in.
It's got Desolator, so that's helping. Getting the minus armor stacked up against everyone. Sleight of Fist just stopping them pushing up the high ground. Acid Spray as well, so they've got plenty of minus armor. But do they have the DPS to actually hold it off? And it looks like they do.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to go back, even though they've still got Black Hole ready. They had Battle Trance back up again. They've still got the ultimate on Witch Doctor. They've still got Eye of the Storm as well on Razor, but clearly still not wanting to take the fight and just playing really, really safe. Not wanting to take any risks and take this to a game 3.
Well, Danny D still trying to get his Aghanims. He's about 1,000 gold away from that now. Got the Ogre Club and point booster.
Oh, this could be a problem. Ember Spirit's coming in. He's managed to find Cook. Is he going to be able to bring him down? The Alacrity is going to really help, but now the damage still. It's just the anti-carry of the Razor. It's just, you can't really fight into it.
The main problem there was Alchemist was charging his stun, blinked here, but wasn't in range to catch the Razor up here.
Oh, no.
Oh, Whelp's coming in from the side. Viper Strike getting thrown out onto Whelp. So this means Danny D is not in the fight, whilst the rest of his team trying to focus down Cook. Rhyme goes down, going to respawn. Disruption onto the Alchemist. Deafening Blast not catching anyone. They're going to take down the Invoker. Death Ward gets placed. Can they finish him off? One more hit. Rhyme hitting like an absolute madman, throwing axes everywhere. Ember Spirit finds a kill on Razor, who falls all the way up here on the north side of the river. But now Alchemist is going to be the next to fall. There's no way he can escape from this. Shadow Demon, the Blink. He did build Blink. Rhyme on the Troll with Blink Dagger. I knew it would happen. The amount of initiation they've got, able to keep up with each other. Timber Saw. They just need Enigma now to finish off that item. Disruption, delaying the inevitable. How are buybacks looking? We do have buyback on Ember Spirit, on the Invoker. No buyback on the Enigma now because he has Blink Dagger. The Alchemist, can he buy back? Yes, he can. Shadow Demon cannot.
Yeah, so they win the fight again. They managed to take down 4 of ForLove's heroes, and they still haven't used Black Hole. They've still got Black Hole. They spent the Death Ward, but that's not got the longest cooldown in the game. Battle Trance is going to make short work of that tier 3 tower. They're going to be able to bring that down.
PGG!
Black Hole, lovely Black Hole on nobody, and he doesn't even care. I mean, oh, actually, he might care now. Mute, he's going to go down. He's actually get blown up by the Invoker, and Whelp's going to fall as well. Bet he wish he had Black Hole now, and it's going to be a double kill for Alchemist out of all of that.
Courier still had the Blink Dagger on it, so it didn't actually get delivered.
Sniped the Courier. That's horrible.
So now here comes the turnaround from ForLove. It looked so good for Rhyme's team, pressuring down into these racks, 2 buybacks, the TP from Invoker, getting into this area so we can Deafening Blast up this direction and push people back into the base, into the arms of the Ember Spirit and the Alchemist. Really well played by him.
Yeah, now they're going to go and start to make the push happen, and they've got the Necro 3 on the Invoker, they've got the Forge Spirits, they can start pushing these towers down.
So Rhyme building Skadi, has a point booster. Cook, AC, going for Aghanims at long last. Looks like the tier 2 tower at top is going to be the next objective of choice from ForLove.
Yeah, and these towers are going to fall down so fast at this stage of the game. I mean, they've got so much to be able to bring them down. Forge Spirits, they've got the Necro, they've got the Acid if anyone wants to come and try and defend against it. Obviously, Nether Toxin works on buildings as well, so they can bring down towers fairly fast. It's going to be quite difficult for the Rock to be able to defend this tier 2, but it looks like they're going to give it a go. Cook just hiding in the trees, waiting to see if anyone comes here to defend, to come and attack, sorry. And meanwhile, Rhyme just making short work of the creeps, and it looks like they want to fight again. I mean, they've got Battle Trance up. They don't have Black Hole. Black Hole's still on cooldown, but they've still got Eye of the Storm. Timbersaws here, full health, full mana, and here we go. It's going to be Rhyme. He's popped the BKB, but the Demonic Purge is making it difficult for him. Razor managed to bring down the Shadow Demon at the start of the fight. Risa, he's going to probably go down. Really nice play by Invoker. Actually, Thompson keeping them alive, but the Death Ward is going to kill him again. It's the second time the Death Ward's killed him. Double kill for the Ember Spirit as well on that, but unfortunately completely outshadowed by Cook, who's about to get himself an ultra kill. He finds himself an ultra kill, and that's 5 heroes down on the side of ForLove. And I mean, it was a 5-for-3 trade. They did manage to finish Rhyme, but it cost them all of their lives. And
they had no blink back black hole, but they still managed to pull this one out. So much was thrown on the Timbersaw here, like Chaos Meteor, Deafening Blast. He yules himself up in the air just to try and evade as much damage as possible, get a couple more spells off. Rhyme took the brunt of the Ember Spirit, getting some really lucky bashes, and that Midnight Pulse, absolutely ridiculous damage onto the Ember, managing to bring him down with a couple more clicks from Cook when he came in from the back end of play. And Cook has enough gold for his axe. This tower is not long for the world.
Yeah, this tower's going to go down, and that's going to be the last outer tower on the side of ForLove. After this, it's going to be tier 3s and racks.
Oh, where do they go now? They've only got 2 people left. People are respawning from ForLove.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the Rock just want to take every fight they can, because Black Hole's going to be up again in 5 seconds. They've got BKB, 9-second duration on the Enigma. He still hasn't got the Blink Dagger.
The courier just respawned. He's getting that delivered right now.
So the courier's on its way.
Plus Scardy.
Scardy is
for the troll.
Well, is that on the courier?
Pretty much.
Jesus.
He's got the rest of it on himself. Then Risa has his Shivas.
Big items coming out for the Rock, yeah. And this is the stage of the game where you go 36 minutes in. How have they, what? Iron? What? Scardy? Where's that come from? Blink?
Yeah,
Blink,
they've been holding it all back.
Yeah.
Like, yep, ForLove, you're winning a little bit, but just wait for what we have in store for you.
Yeah, Yule Scepter and Shivas on this Timbersaw. It's a pretty scary sight, and he's actually just going to go really aggressive. He's going to be able to kill the Alchemist as well. Alchemist being a strength hero, this could be a lot of burst damage. He's going to be in trouble. Look how much damage he takes already, trying to get the stun off, but it's going to be a short one, because otherwise he's going to die before he even gets a chance to throw it, and it's not going to make any difference.
So well played. Chakram through the trees, then Blink here to Whirling Death, then Timber Chain, Shivas. Absolutely ridiculous from that Timbersaw. Alchemist stood no chance. And I think buyback's going to be really vital now. Alchemist does not have buyback for another minute and a half. And he's pretty key. That Acid Spray allows Ember Spirit to do so much more damage.
Yeah, it's really good in these fights, and
oh dear.
Especially when you've got the Desolator as well on top. And look at that Battle Trance. Look at Troll Warlord go. He's gone absolutely mad, just beating down on the racks. And Ember Spirit's got to try and see what he can do to try and stem the aggression, actually. And we actually see Viper Strike. That's going to stem the aggression a little bit. With the Searing Chains as well on 2 heroes, Cook and Rhyme, both getting held in place, but it's not really going to matter. And look at Whelp. He's just gone in there, pops down the Midnight Pulse. He has already used the BKB, so maybe a little bit of a misplay. And now we see a little bit of ForLove. They're coming to the forefront of the base. Thompson as well. In comes Risa though. He's just going crazy on the Timbersaw. He's absolutely wrecking everyone. Rhyme comes in as well now. Hasn't got the Viper Strike. Death Ward gets placed down. Black Hole, lovely Black Hole. Lovely combo coming out from the Rock, and they're cleaning up the heroes on the side of ForLove. Buybacks from both the Ember and from the Viper as well. Thompson trying to keep people alive. Actually blink out. Really nice by Risa. He survived the entirety of that fight. They do lose the Razor. Cook on the Razor. It looks like they're going to try and chase this out. Adamansky, he's going to keep going. They might manage to bring down Whelp. Whelp hasn't got anything to offer. The Maledict is actually going to bring down the Ember Spirit. He hasn't got buyback.
No, Rhyme comes back in. Battle Trance ready. Down goes the Alchemist.
No, and this is just a disaster. And here goes Danny. He's going to go down as well.
Slow.
The Scardy, he just can't escape from it. He's going to go down, and this could be GG. He's pushing him down. Is he going to be able to get him? Yeah, they managed to put him up in the air. Risa wants to be able to pick it off. It is the Timbersaw that picks it. The Sunstrike from Invoker is actually going to miss. Rhyme's going forward again. He wants to go onto the Thompson. It's actually a disruption coming out from TOP. Can he get away from it? The illusions are doing a decent amount of damage actually onto Rhyme. Rhyme's taking a lot of damage with this Soul Catcher. He's actually going to go down. And I don't think they can push into the base after that, but they managed to bring down the Ember Spirit twice. No buyback on Ember Spirit. No buyback onto the Viper for a while, even when they spawn. And
Rhyme is not
Demon.
a happy chappy.
Fuck Shadow Demon is the call that comes out. Jesus. GG.
It's really annoying when you're Rhyme and you're like, Viper Strike's being thrown at me, and then Demonic Purge and Disruption. I just want to blink and chase people and slow them down, but just wasn't to be. I mean, there's a DD sitting down on this bot rune spot. That would have been great for them when pushing up to high ground.
I mean, at this point, with both the Ember Spirit and the Viper down, shouldn't Rhyme just buy back and they just go straight into the base again when they've still got the time of those heroes? Or is that buyback so crucial for the Rock? I mean, if they lose a fight, have they got a chance of losing the game, or can they pressure when there's no buyback available on both of those two key heroes for ForLove?
If Rhyme had enough to buy back and Boots of Travel, I would say yes. But the fact, we're going to see aggression here onto Risa. Do they get the combo off? No, they do not. In comes Whelp. Mech. That Invoker is in so much trouble. Deafening Blast.
Just not enough. How much damage? He was down to about 150 HP when he managed to get the kill, and Shadow Demon's nowhere near to be able to follow up with. And
I don't know what that says.
Wombo combo.
Okay. And then here comes the Yules again. Shadow Demon. See ya.
Oh, Risa's playing so well this game. The Concoction is actually going to hit, and the blink forward by the Alchemist as well, but they're not going to be able to chase it down, and Risa is going to be able to get out of here. He's getting dropping pretty low though. Sitting on 100 HP, but they want to go back in. Whelp's back there again. Hasn't got Black Hole, but in comes Cook. Cook's got the ultimate with the Ags now finished, and they're just going to start going to work. They take down the ranged creeps. He's going as fast as he can. The Aghanim Scepter doing work with the AC as well. The minus armor on these buildings. There's nothing they can really do to defend this. All they can do is just throw out concoctions like they're doing. The Alchemist, there's no Invoker. The Ember Spirit is back. Can the Ember Spirit do anything here? He's just a little bit too nervous. He can't really go in without getting caught out, because if he gets caught out, they're going to lose the game, and it looks like it's going to be Mega Creeps. Searing Chains onto Rhyme, but he's not really going to do too much. And in blinks Risa, and Whelp as well. Black Hole, he's whiffed it again.
Where's
it's
the
another whiff. I don't know what's happening. Let's pause the game. He's so bad. Man.
Let's all take a moment to respect the player that is Whelp.
Oh man, and here comes the Death Ward though, and it's pinging through. He's got the Aghanim Scepter. I didn't even see that pick up, and it's going to bring down both the Shadow Demon and the Ember Spirit.
Triple kill for Mute on that Witch Doctor.
This is going to be GG, and that is how you put an ult down, a team fight ultimate.
Oh, Invoker has Hex. Deafening Blast, Meteor. Not really hitting anyone now. Jumps Rhyme, catching Thompson, Maledict down just to make sure. Tashko did buy back for this. That's GG, well played. Your champions tonight are Dwayne the John Roxon, going home with £500 prize money. Second place for Love International. This has been the ESL UK AOC DOTA2 Challenge. I've been Dota, and joining me, Wakey Pixel. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's been really, really entertaining, and we've seen some good games, some funny games, and some serious games as well, and it was a good game to end on. Dwayne The Rock Johnson definitely deserved winners. Don't think they dropped a game for the entirety of the tournament while we were here casting. So
ForLove dropped one game when it went to that game 3 of the best of 3, but both teams did really well to get here. So that's the end of this tournament. We have our winner. We have second place. Third place went to Ichigo's team, so we have every single prize place there.
Trolley draft, which is probably one of my favourite games of the game.
Pudge, Meepo, Invoker.
Brilliant.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, the pub game that we saw. But yeah, anyway, the Rock deserved winners. Played the best overall in the tournament. ForLove did really, really well to get to the final. Maybe on another day they could have taken a win or two off them, but just the drafts coming out as well, like really, really strong. They knew that there was going to be an aggressive tri lane. They shut down the Viper so well in the mid game. He just had no space to farm anyway. He wasn't able to find anything. His item progression was really, really poor. And yeah, he didn't even go for the BKB in the end. Actually just went for the Aghanim Scepter.
I mean, the play from Risa was outstanding. But
yeah, Risa was just unbelievable. From the first minute to the last minute, he was so good on that Timbersaw. And that's what you do if you go aggressive tri lane. You leave it open to let a Timbersaw like that just wreck you on that bottom lane, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, that's it from us. Good night, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you won lots of rares betting on Dwayne the John Roxon. See you next time.